It's a Minimalist Monday edition of Optimal Living Daily, episode 1865, How to Craft a Life You Don't Need to Escape From, by Joshua Becker of Becoming Minimalist.com, and I'm Justin Malik. Happy Monday and welcome to the old podcast, the OLD podcast, Optimal Living Daily, where I read to you like a big ongoing audiobook, but from many different authors. Today's post being from Joshua of Becoming Minimalist. For now, let's get right to it and start optimizing your life. How to Craft a Life You Don't Need to Escape From, by Joshua Becker of BecomingMinimalist.com. There's a quote from Seth Godin I love to post in the Becoming Minimalist Facebook group. It goes like this: instead of wondering when your next vacation is, maybe you should set up a life you don't need to escape from. The quote is appreciated by most people who see it, but there are always a few on any quote that I post who want to disagree, dissent, and argue with the sentiment. In this particular case, they comment that vacations are fun and traveling is good, both of which I do not disagree with. The point of the quote is not whether vacations are fun and traveling is good. The point of the quote is rather than only enjoying our life while on vacation, holiday, or weekend, we should strive to make our lives the ones we want to be living every day of the week. We should learn how to enjoy life on a daily basis. Rather than seeing vacation as your annual opportunity to escape life, craft a life you don't need to escape from. This is not necessarily easy to do, but it is entirely possible. In fact, for the most part, I have done this with my life. I love and enjoy my every day. I don't count the days until the weekend. I enjoy Monday as much as I do Saturday. How to enjoy life. Here are 9 ways to begin crafting a life you don't need to escape. Number 1, make relationships a priority. The old adage is quite true. There is only one happiness in this life: to love and be loved. Loving relationships bring a joy into our lives that can never be matched by income, title, or career achievements. People matter and are worth the effort. It is important to notice in the adage you just heard that several types of relationships are important to our well-being. One where we are being loved by another, and a second where we are pouring out love. Work to have both. Number 2, remove unneeded possessions from your home and life. Physical possessions are a burden to us. They require time, energy, money, and always distract us from the things in life that matter most. It is difficult to fully appreciate how much of a burden our possessions have become until we begin to remove them. Contrary to what advertisers shout from the rooftop, more stuff will not make you happy. Quite the opposite is true. The first step in crafting the life you want is to get rid of everything you don't. Number 3, make your work your job. Vicki Robin in the first issue of Simple Money magazine draws a helpful distinction between work and job. Your job, she would say, is what you do for money to provide shelter, clothing, and food. Your work, on the other hand, is what you do to contribute to others, the causes you are passionate about, and the good you wish to bring into this world. When your work is also your job, you've achieved a sweet spot in life. Number 4, or see your job as part of your work. Of course, number 3 is not always possible for all people. Sometimes our work does not provide financial compensation, and pursuing our passion as a career is not always feasible. Still, other times, because of the immediacy of life's demands, we are required to do the job in front of us for the sake of providing for those who are counting on us. In those cases, there is still opportunity to craft a life you do not need to escape from, but it requires us to rethink the nature of our job by focusing on the good that it brings into the world and recognizing how it aligns with our work in other ways. Number 5, guard your time. Not every pursuit in life deserves your energy. It is important for each of us to become more aware of what is truly worth the hours of our one short, important life. Those who have crafted a life they love have not done so by saying yes to every opportunity or invitation in their inbox. They have done so by guarding their time ruthlessly for the things that matter most and by learning to say no graciously to the others. Number 6, take care of yourself. There's little joy in a selfish life focused entirely on self. What matters at the end of our life is not the house we lived in, the car we drove, or the possessions we purchased. What will matter in the end is how we treated others. Keep selfless living the goal of life. However, an empty cup cannot pour into another. If we are going to live selfless lives, the true measure of success, we must learn that caring for ourselves is the first step in caring for others. Rest, exercise, and pursue healthy habits. We need you to be the best version of yourself. Number 7, appreciate your season in life. Just as seasons of the year come and go, so do seasons of life. We're kids, in college, young adults, newly married, raising children, empty nesters, grandparents, caring for aging parents, being cared for ourselves, or any combination of the seasons above. Those who are most satisfied with life are those who appreciate the current season of life they are in and learn to make the most of it. They do not long for the next one or attempt to continue living in the previous one. They accept the reality of changing seasons and embrace each one with grace and resolve. Number 8, understand the reality of trials in life. Every person in life is either in the middle of a trial, has just emerged from one, or is heading toward the next. Trials and storms come and go, sometimes as a result of our own poor decisions, and sometimes as a result of living in an imperfect world. Trials often become the very thing we most wish to escape in life, sometimes for good reason, but given the nature of their constant existence, how can we learn to appreciate the life we have in the midst of these trials? First, we embrace the reality of their existence. And second, we look for the good in the midst of them, no matter how hard we need to look. And number 9, find happiness in your everyday. Happiness is not something to be pursued, it is something to be discovered and recognized. If you are expecting to find happiness after blank changes, you will never discover it. The hardest truth to grasp about happiness is also the most promising. It can be experienced each day, regardless of your current lot in life. As Thomas Kincaid once said, quote, "True simplicity begins when you learn to enjoy the amazing abundance of what is already yours," end quote. If you want to learn how to enjoy life and craft something you do not need to escape from, you can do so. It may require you to change your mindset, your pursuits, or where you focus your energy, but it is always worth it. You just listened to the post titled, "How to Craft a Life You Don't Need to Escape From" by Joshua Becker of BecomingMinimalist.com. And now 2020 was the year of many things, but we are in a new year now. And if you own a small business, why not start it off with better payroll? Gusto wasn't just built for small businesses, it was built for the people behind them. Their online payroll is so easy to use. Gusto can automatically calculate paychecks and file all of your payroll taxes, which means you have more time to run your business. Plus, Gusto does way more than payroll. Gusto helps with time tracking, health insurance, 401ks, onboarding, commuter benefits, offer letters, access to HR experts. You get the idea. It's super easy to set up and get started. And if you're moving from another provider, they can transfer all your data for you. It's no surprise 94% of customers are likely to recommend Gusto. And we do here at the OLD team. We've been using Gusto for years. They've been handling many aspects of our business. And here's the best part, because you're a listener, you get 3 months totally free. All you have to do is go to gusto.com/old. Again, that's gusto.com/OLD. I'm telling you, you're going to love Gusto. Get started today. gusto.com/OLD. And thank you to Joshua, a super nice guy I've had the honor of meeting at a personal finance conference a while back. He actually has a background in finance, so he writes about a wide variety of topics from minimalism to personal development, finance, relationships, and more. So you regularly hear his work being narrated across all of our shows. As always, if there's one of these 9 points that stood out to you, that's where I would start. Try not to get overwhelmed with lists like these, because the goal isn't to reach some level of perfection and implement everything you hear. Kind of like happiness is not a goal you'll ever reach. It just kind of happens day to day. There is no perfection, so implement what works for you and not everything you hear. I definitely don't. Pick what sounds like a great fit for you and try it out. If it works, great. If not, try another. Or maybe something from a different article. We're all unique, and there's definitely no one size fits all with this stuff, no matter what anyone says. Keep discovering what works for you. That's hopefully what I'm helping you with. And thank you for listening every day and optimizing your life with me. Have a great start to your week, and I'll see you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.